Ethereum is up over 130% in the last 30 days or so, and it's showing no signs of stopping, with a potential breakout on the 15-minute chart, which we'll take a look at later on in this video to see how we can start pushing towards all-time highs and beyond towards $5,000. Since the end of August, where we had this breakout here, we've been moving really parabolically almost with the Ethereum price pushing all the way from 3,225 to just falling short of $4,000, having literally broken up past $4,000 before being swiftly rejected back down yesterday. But something, and if we look back to when we had all-time highs before, we did have a few days where we found this $4,000, and that's obviously, many people have in mind $4,000 as being a nice round number, something that they might have been planning on for a while as a price that they might sell at. If we have a look at the Fibonacci from the swing high all the way back down to the swing low, we can see that around the 0.786 we had this key area where we did take a couple of days to break through, and then we obviously broke through and are now looking fairly solid above it, having had a daily close yesterday well above the line, and now opening a new candle, which today we haven't seen a huge amount of movement. Obviously it's the weekend, so we do tend to see a little less volume. If we look down at the RSI, we are looking a little bit on the overbought side of things, but there's still potential maneuver room available. So let's jump into the 15-minute chart and see what is going on. Now, I don't tend to advise that we look at shorter term charts because they do tend to be a bit more volatile and movements can be very quick. But if we look at this pattern on the 15-minute chart, we see that we are getting consolidated down. Volume is dropping, which does tend to indicate that we are going to be looking for some sort of move coming soon. And as you can see, we've taken a few touches on the downside, again up towards the top side, and then confirmed a few times, having been rejected each time as we've tried to break out of this pattern. Now, if we take a swing high movement all the way down to our swing low level, all the way down to this sort of wick here, and we take it from the breakout position, which we are literally looking at right now, and perhaps in the next few minutes we could well see a breakout. This would take us all the way up to the $4,060, which in terms of the price move isn't huge when we look at the percentages of it, but in terms of what it means, it'll be the first time pretty much we've been up above $4,000 in the last few months. And that will then put us in line with these sort of last two candles. After we had that initial dip, we came back up and retested that zone. So that area around the $4,060 is going to be key for Ethereum. If we can have a close of a daily candle above $4,000, then in my opinion, within the early part of next week, we're going to be looking to break all-time highs. And you know the drill, once we hit all-time highs, then we can see the price really start to rally very quickly as we get a lot of FOMO trades entering, etc. But one thing I'll warn you off about, guys, and I talked about this on the Solana video, which I'll link to the end of this video, warning people of what happens after we get these huge parabolic runs, is that we do tend to see potentially a bit of a cool off. As soon as we go beyond all-time highs, everyone in Ethereum will be in profit, and obviously that's good, and we do tend to see a bit of a push, but ultimately what that does mean is that people will start to take profits, and every time people take profits, it starts to sort of gradually weaken the price. And although you do have a lot of people coming in, buying into the market, FOMOing in, etc., we can see it move very quickly, but we can also see it hit a peak, and then we can see these big sell-offs. Now, I'm not saying that basically if we break above all-time high that we're eventually going to come up and then have a huge breakdown like we did before. Obviously, this came off the Elon Musk as well as a huge liquidation event in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But it's something we should always be aware of when the prices are really high and everyone's excited thinking they're going to go and be rich. And potentially in the long term with crypto, Ethereum, etc., you might be rich. But in the sort of shorter term when people are chucking, their savings and everything at it, that's when we need to keep our cool and not get emotionally involved in it, and potentially look to take profits as and when we can. Obviously, if you're going to holding for the long-term strategy, then that's fine. If we look across at the Ethereum Bitcoin chart, something else is looking very positive. Again, we had a daily close above this key Fibonacci level, which is almost identical to the one we saw over on the Ethereum US dollar chart. And again, next prices, we're basically looking at an 8.2% Ethereum on the Bitcoin price, and potentially if we can break above this key area here, it will be in line with breaking above the all-time high on the Ethereum US dollar chart, and that could be the catalyst that sees us really fly. We might see people putting money from Bitcoin into Ethereum, which again will obviously help the cause. If you're looking at buying into Solana or any other crypto that's been doing really well recently, I think looking at the psychology of trading will really pay off, and I've included that in that video, so make sure you go and take a look at that now. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon with another video. Bye-bye.